Also, let me preface by my dad has 3 girls, obviously, a wonderful wife, my mom, and a girl dog. So he is surrounded by girls, and I'm guessing he should know these questions.
I've seen this in the house.
Yeah,
I always wondered why. What is my turn? Question 3.
Yes.
Let's go baseball.
Oh, no. Welcome back to another week of Raised on Sports, a father and daughter podcast. I am Reagan, the daughter.
Hello, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in to Raised on Sports. I am Jason, and I'm the father, and that's
Other
the
way.
daughter.
I know, I keep going this way. But we had a fun week in sports altogether, and a fun week in general. We're going to touch on the college football upsets that happened on Saturday. Quite crazy. We are going to talk about NFL because this week was quite entertaining, unlike other weeks. We're talking about college basketball.
Yes. Underway.
Starting it up. We're going to talk about how the Savannah Bananas came to Clemson, which was such a fun game and so fun, but we'll talk about that. We're going to give our picks for week 12.
Yep.
Is that right? Week 12 of college football. And finally, we're going to end on a game that I've kind of seen trend on TikTok. It's when like the girls ask guys girl questions to see if they can get them right. So I'm going to ask my dad some girl questions he should know because he has 3 daughters. And my dad's going to ask me some sports questions. But you have to stick to the end to see that play out and us share some laughs. But let's start off, Dad. How was your week?
Yeah. Let's see here. Football has ended, so I have transitioned myself into coaching basketball now. So it's nice to go into the gym and coach the boys up and getting excited. We have a scrimmage this week, and then season begins next Monday. So getting real excited for basketball season. But other than that, just watched some football this weekend and had some friends over for dinner and just relaxed. It was nice.
Another week in the Carey house. Honestly, it was a really slow, not boring week, but it was nice to kind of get some sleep in and not do anything. I didn't really have any big events or really anything going on. So I would say the best night was Friday night when me and my friends went to Chili's and played Uno until 12 o'clock at night. And
at Chili's? You played Uno?
We played at Chili's. We all got our food, was playing Uno in the middle of the table. And we stayed till closing.
I just read, and I think I sent it to you on Instagram. Did you see that?
No, what?
Uno officially just came out and announced that you cannot play a draw 2 on top of a draw 2.
But that defeats all the fun in Uno. Are you kidding?
You can't make it draw 4, draw 6, yeah.
Then we'll stick to spicy Uno. That's how we play in the Carey household. But so that was my most riveting night of the weekend. So if that tells you anything about my weekend,
that's good. No, some nights it's fun just to kind of chill it down, take it down a notch.
I know.
I did finish the season 4 of Outer Banks with your
don't spoil anything.
Oh.
I have 2 episodes left, so I don't want to hear anything.
All right. Maybe that'll be our next week recap because
it
was awesome.
You think it's good?
Awesome. You better get watching, dude.
Okay, I'll watch it tonight. Then we'll recap next week.
Sounds good.
But we should probably get into the college football games from last weekend. Dad, another week.
Great weekend.
Craziness.
Yeah, it's just, again, maybe it's the college football playoffs that's just causing teams. They have something to play for, so it's just more exciting. I mean, we're just getting into November, and we are having just pandemonium. It's funny because always when those first rankings come out, those lesser teams kind of up their game a little bit, and the guys up top, well, they better look out because there were some upsets this weekend.
There were quite a bit of upsets, and I think we're only touching on a couple of them today that were quite crazy. To start off, the biggest game of the weekend, Georgia Ole Miss, I have to say. Ole Miss upset Georgia at home, or Ole Miss was at home, and it was crazy. I know you saw all of the kids rushing the field at 16 seconds left. They had to kick them all off,
Yep.
and they were all like packed on the sidelines. We heard texting pictures back and forth, Dad, of like all the kids lined up with all the players. And then finally, when the game was over, they rushed in, and both goalposts are down. Don't know where they went, but they're down.
Yep.
It was Georgia's second loss, so it's kind of just causing some chaos in the SEC, to say the least.
Yeah, competitive league, but hotty toddy. That was a good win for Ole Miss. They needed it. Jackson Dart played well. Georgia came out and scored first, so you kind of thought, okay, it's here comes the big dogs. But then Ole Miss just kind of hung around, and they kind of controlled the ball a lot in the second half. And they really kind of beat up Georgia, in my opinion, pretty good. That was, what was it, 28-19, I think was the final, and they beat them pretty good.
28-10.
2010, yeah, jeez.
Yeah, we both picked Georgia to win too last week. So
yeah,
I think a lot of people expected Georgia to win, and Ole Miss came out with a fire under their butt. And like you said, Jackson Dart played great. He only threw one touchdown. The rest were field goals.
Did you see he got hurt during the game and had to go to the blue tent, and they thought he was done, and then he came back out, and it was kind of like that historic moment coming back out onto the field and leading. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It'll be interesting to see with the SEC though how many of those 2-loss teams have a shot at making it.
Oh yeah,
3 you're out.
Yeah,
and 2, there's quite a few 2-loss teams now. So
I know, how do you kind of decide between them? And especially, we all know that there's an SEC bias in the playoffs where, I mean, I like to say Alabama before last weekend, they lost to an unranked team and they lost to Georgia. That's the same as Clemson. We lost to an unranked team and we lost to Georgia.
Yep.
What makes them, I know they're in the SEC, harder teams, they have a harder schedule, but what makes them so much better than Clemson and rank so much higher, even though they have the same record?
Yeah, tradition. That's what you just go back to. It's just more dominance.
Yeah. But next, another upset that was crazy and a great news for me as a Clemson fan was number 4, Miami, was defeated by Georgia Tech. Unranked Georgia Tech. This is Miami's first loss of the season, and it was a crazy game. Miami kind of has a reputation of losing throughout the game and then always coming back at the end. We always hope that Miami's going to go down, going to lose, and then they end up winning the game. And so that's what I kind of thought throughout this whole game, but Georgia Tech won it.
They hung on. Yeah, they've had 3 fourth quarter comeback wins, so they were trying to make this 4. And just couldn't do it. Georgia Tech did a great job just controlling the ball. That I think they went in with the game plan of let's keep Miami off the field. And they did it. They did a great job of it. They ran the ball well. They controlled the line of scrimmage. They scored at the end there when they needed to put it up an extra score. So 28-23, Cam Ward gets strip sacked there at the last chance, fumbles, and good win for Georgia Tech. And I guess all those Clemson fans out there are still now have a little sliver of hope.
It was a sliver. Now it's like a centimeter of hope. But no, this was Georgia Tech's first win over a top 5 team in like 15 years, I think it said. So, of course, just like the Georgia Ole Miss game, the field was packed with fans right after the game. They did wait till the very end of the game, which is good for them. But yeah, again, both goalposts are down. This is kind of a new thing this year that people are tearing down the goalposts. Is that new?
It's happened before, but it's definitely happened a lot.
I haven't really seen it this often.
Yeah, it's happened a lot.
Okay, well, maybe it's just because there's so many upsets. It's just more visible and more noted on social media. Now, Georgia Tech is bowl eligible after a 2-game losing streak, and I'm proud of them. I'm so happy to see Miami have 1 loss of the season.
And Miami still has some tough games. They still got a couple games on their schedule. They need to lock in from here on out. They're still the front runner to make the ACC championship, but they need to be ready to play for 4 quarters each and every week.
I agree.
That
fourth quarter rebound can only last them so long.
Yep.
Next, another big game, which I was kind of keeping a close eye on, was Michigan, Indiana, because now Indiana is 10-0. This is the school's record of longest being undefeated. So now they're ranked 5th. And it was a close game throughout the entire game. But Indiana pulled out 20-15.
Yeah, it was close in terms of score, but watching that game, it never really felt in doubt. And Indiana should have won by a lot more than they did. So they had a couple bad penalties on some drives that kind of just put them behind. And turnover late that they could have scored again on. So I thought Indiana just dominated this game. Michigan only scored 1 offensive touchdown. Everything else was field goals. But yeah, Indiana's for real. We have to believe that they are for real. And now they go on a bye this coming week, getting ready 2 weeks for the big showdown in Ohio State. So
that will be an interesting game, Indiana against Ohio State. And especially because Indiana does have that bye, they have 2 full weeks of practice, of getting ready and making up new plays to play Ohio State. So we'll see how that goes, but we can see if Indiana is for real when they play Ohio State.
Ohio State kind of has a bye week too. They play Northwestern. So sorry, Freeman family.
You never know.
Bye week, yeah. No.
Dad, you can't say never with this kind of.
True, but okay.
But okay, the last game that we're going to talk about, Dad, I actually stayed up to watch this game. Was the BYU-Utah game.
Had to be past midnight.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It was late.
Yes.
But, the last play of the game was insane.
Yeah, to watch, that was on 4th down too. So those fans and everybody in there thought when it was an incomplete pass, the place erupted thinking they had won the game, and all of a sudden you see the yellow flag out there, and it was a very subjective holding call. I agree. Coaches weren't happy about it either. And but yeah, BYU took advantage of whatever you want to call it, luck or whatever, and did what they had to do and drove down and scored. So it kind of just shows me BYU's that kind of team of destiny in a way.
Yeah. So, now they're 9-0, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
They're still undefeated. I saw a lot of my friends who go to Utah post this like meme on their stories, and it was like a ref shirt and this like BYU's new jerseys. Oh, it was funny. Like everyone was pissed off just because it is a rivalry of Utah.
Oh, it's huge. Yep.
I'm happy to see BYU win, but it would have been really cool to see Utah kind of come back.
Watch parties around here too.
I bet.
It was a very hyped up game and an exciting game. Great finish, and BYU down early and came back and wins it. That's good.
Yeah, it's always fun to have these crazy endings of games. And I'm still hoping for one at Clemson. But something that did happen at Clemson this past week, and I don't know if you saw it, Dad, the Savannah Bananas or Banana Ball, all of the All-Stars came to Clemson and played Clemson Tigers, our baseball team, for their exhibition game. Which was so fun. It was the Banana Ball, first college team that they've ever played. And Clemson went all out for this. I didn't know if the team would act too cool for school, know if they would if they wanted to do these dances, if that was really their idea, but they went all out and it was so fun to watch. Someone walked up to the plate on a horse. One of the Savannah Bananas players did a pitch on stilts. The 3rd inning, I know you probably saw this, their dance at the 3rd inning and then the backflip.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Yeah, no, that was really great to see. Real happy for Clemson. Unfortunately, they didn't get to let students into the game, right?
I know. I saw all of it through social media and highlights and everything. But they are coming to play in Death Valley, our football stadium, in April. So I'm definitely going to be getting tickets for that, which I'm very excited for. But the fact that they are going to sell out Death Valley is insane, and the impact that the Savannah Bananas have is changing baseball.
No, they're not. The World Series rankings were high with the Dodgers and Yankees. They're doing just fine in MLB. So
That's true, but it is fun to still have something new and different.
that's cool. I'm glad you guys got to experience that. That's fun.
I know. I'm excited for April. Next, what we're talking about is the NFL games that happened on Sunday, which they're actually more exciting this week than they have been in the past.
Yeah, it was an exciting week in the NFL. You had the last international game, the game over in Germany, Munich, Germany, where the Panthers, for the first time in Bryce Young's career, won back-to-back games. That was exciting, right? I don't know if that's great or just the Giants are just that horrible. But what else? We had the Chiefs stay undefeated.
9-0. They've won 15 games in a row if you count last season.
Yeah, you definitely count last season. Absolutely.
That's crazy.
That last second field goal. 32-yard field goal that you kind of think is pretty automatic in the NFL, and the Chiefs block it for the win. So that was exciting.
And back to the Panthers-Giants game, that was a field goal in overtime to win back-to-back games for the Panthers. Yeah. So that's a winning field goal too.
And then the last game last night between the Lions and the Texans was just one of the craziest and wildest games I've seen in a long time, where you had 7 combined turnovers, 5 interceptions by Jared Goff, the Detroit Lions quarterback. And that was the first time since 2012 that a team that threw 5 interceptions actually won a game. So, yeah, pretty wild night.
5 interceptions?
He threw 5 interceptions. At one time, he had more completions to the other team than he did to his own team.
Oh my gosh. And then they still won.
And then they still came back and won. Yeah. So Detroit's got some grit. That team is that's
a good team this year.
That's a very good team. A lot of people are saying Super Bowl or bust for them.
Really?
Yeah, they are they're the real deal. And when you win games like that, when you don't play your best and your quarterback's not as best and you still find a way to win, it just, to me, that just shows something special in the air for them.
I agree. Yeah. Another big game was the Steelers and Commanders game.
Yeah, that was exciting
people are kind of saying the switch from Justin Fields to Russell Wilson kind of paid off. But Wilson did have his first interception in 11 months, which obviously is not great. But the Steelers do come out on top against the Commanders. Yeah,
good, exciting game. Good one.
So it was fun for NFL this week. I'm glad we had something to talk about from the NFL.
Yeah, no, NFL's heating up. We're just past the midway point of the season, and it's a long, grueling season too, with adding the extra week in there. So yeah, but it's fun. It's exciting. We're getting ready. It'll get a lot more interesting when we get close to Thanksgiving time. That's the time when a lot of those teams kind of really take it to the next step. So
yeah, I agree. It's still very.
We also had college basketball starting this weekend. Did you catch any?
Yeah, a bunch. I worked 2 of the Clemson games last week.
Oh, good.
They won both, which is fun.
Oh, good. Good.
I love college basketball. It's still new. There's so many games happening at the same time and almost every day. So it's like, it's a lot right now.
It is a lot, but I got to see a little bit. Kansas, number 1 seed preseason, got off to a hot start. So they look pretty good. Duke is just, they're fun to watch. They've got a big game Tuesday night against Kentucky. So that'll be fun to watch.
Actually, speaking of Duke and Kentucky, Clemson plays Duke and Kentucky back-to-back in February. You need to come.
All right.
At Clemson, both games.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We are hosting Duke and Kentucky, like one on, I want to say like Wednesday, one on Friday.
Okay.
So definitely something to look into. That could be some fun games to watch. But no, Duke is incredible this season. I'm excited to see how far they go.
And I watched a little Gonzaga, and Gonzaga is just good old Gonzaga. They're always there.
Always love the Zags.
I do love the Zags. Actually, your mom loves the Zags.
Yeah, she loves Syracuse. Because they're orange.
That was way back when. Yeah, that's true.
But no, the Zags, they're always going to be good. We do have to do. You don't have your whiteboard behind you.
I could update my standings. So I went 3-1 last week, and you
I
went
went 2
2
and 2.
and 2.
I
So
think who did we pick?
we
Georgia. We
yeah,
picked
we
Indiana to win.
both Georgia. We both
Oh, and
won.
I picked LSU.
Had Bama, and then
I know we didn't recap that game, but that was a big game, and now LSU's kind of out.
What games we have this week to pick?
This week, I'm going to start it off with Clemson Pitt.
Okay.
Because this should be a good game. It is at Pitt.
Yep.
Clemson is the favorite.
Yep.
And Virginia just beat Pitt. So
yes,
last week or on Saturday.
Yep.
So I don't know, but it's at Pittsburgh. I think it's always hard to go away. I do think Clemson will win. But I don't think it's going to be easy for them. They just won against Virginia Tech and kind of dominated throughout the entire second half, at least. So if they can do that against Pitt, I think they have a good chance.
Yeah, Pitt kind of they were undefeated and went down to SMU 2 weeks ago and just kind of really got hammered down there. And it felt like coming back home and playing Virginia, they just couldn't recover from that and lost. It was probably an upset at home. Shouldn't have lost that game either. So that's 2 in a row now for Pitt. I kind of think they're reeling a little bit. They know, the ACC championship game is out of their sights. They're already bowl eligible, so they're going to go to a bowl game. But I do think Clemson just has something a little more to play for. I do think also they're just a better team. They're a better team all around. So I will pick Clemson as well. I will pick Clemson. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
All right.
Hopefully they win. I'll be watching. Next we have Texas, Arkansas, which I think is going to be a closer game than people think it's going to be. Texas is now ranked 3. But Arkansas beat Tennessee.
Yep.
And just lost to Ole Miss 2 weeks ago, and then they've had a bye. So they've kind of had 2 full weeks to recover from their loss of Ole Miss and prepare for this game against Texas. Texas just crushed Florida, but they just slid by Vanderbilt. Yeah. And they have Texas A&M coming up in about 2 weeks, Thanksgiving week.
Which is their big rival.
What do you think, Dad?
I think Arkansas, this has that potential of a Cinderella team, the underdog team, the big dogs coming in. But I just think Texas has way too much to play for right now. And I think Quinn Ewers is just one of the best players in the nation right now, playing the way he's playing. Sarkisian's got him rolling right now, the coach. And I could see a potential slip up, but not in this case. And I'll go Texas.
I do have to agree. They're a strong team, and I don't think Arkansas is going to be the one to kind of cause that slip up. I think it's going to be a close game.
Okay.
It could be like that Cinderella story, but I'm picking Texas.
All right.
They're the better team.
Good.
And they should win. Next, we have Kansas at BYU.
Okay, back to BYU. I like it.
It's kind of a interesting matchup because BYU almost just lost on Saturday. And Kansas, I think, is underrated. They just beat Iowa State on Saturday. And Iowa State's good.
Yeah, they were ranked a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, they were ranked 17 on Saturday.
Yeah.
Now I think they're out of the top 25. But it's at home at BYU. Can they keep it rolling? Can they make it 10-0? Or is it about time that they slip up?
I think I'll pick BYU. This is they're coming. They're coming off that Utah win, and they know something special happened that night for them to get that win. Now you're going home. You're going to have everybody in Provo, Utah behind them. That place is going to be packed and ready to go. And BYU is on their way to the Big 12 championship game, and they will win.
Okay. I I hate to agree with you with all these
Well,
picks, but I do agree that BYU is going to take this one. It is, like you said, it is at home. Back at BYU, where last week it was at Utah. They're a great team again. I love their quarterback. And just I think they're going to go 10-0. Let's give them a championship win. Let's get them to the playoffs. I choose BYU.
all right. Good.
What do we got next, Dad?
How about let's go the Utah-Colorado game.
Okay.
That is surprisingly sneaky. Colorado kind of making a late season push to try and reach that Big 12 championship to play BYU. They just won a very exciting home game. Now they get Utah at home. No, I'm sorry, a road game. So now they get Utah at home. Utah coming off a tough loss. I mean, the obvious pick is probably Colorado, but I just like having them in there. I think they're becoming relevant in college football. They're always going to be relevant with Dion and everybody, but I just think now their football play on the field is becoming relevant. Mm-hmm. And so let's pick that game, and I'll just start it off. I'll jump on the Buff bandwagon. I'll go Colorado.
Okay, I'll differ from you. I'm going to pick Utah.
Okay.
Why not? Let's make it a competition.
It would be an upset.
It would be an upset for sure. I just feel like I want Utah to win. That's literally my only kind of words. We'll see how this goes. Right. I'm just going to pick Utah because
just to be different.
Just to be different.
Plus you do need to catch up a little bit.
Okay. Well, that might make me worse, but whatever. Finally, the game of the week.
The game everyone's talking about.
Tennessee, Georgia. It's gonna be a good one. Is game day there? I'm guessing.
Yes, I believe. I don't know if I saw that get posted yet, but that would be the
yeah, it definitely
choice,
is.
So
Georgia's coming off a loss against Ole Miss. They beat Texas, got beat by Bama, but Tennessee has beaten Bama, but they haven't really played that big of games. This is the big game. Besides their game against Bama, this is the game of the season for Tennessee. I'm going to start it off and I'm picking Georgia. Georgia is the favorite right now. But after their loss against Ole Miss, I think they're going to come back with vengeance and just win that big one. It's at home. It's at Georgia.
Yep.
They got all their fans barking. I think Georgia's going to win.
Yeah. I have always said that you don't want to ever play Georgia and Alabama, period. But when you do, you definitely don't want to play them after a loss. Yeah. So for Tennessee, having a bye and come and be ready to play in Georgia after a big loss by Georgia doesn't look good for the Vols. Mm-hmm. With that being said, it's exactly why I'm picking Tennessee. And I'm cheering for my buddy Seth Gilmore and his Vols and saying, let's go. Let's shake up this college football playoff even more. A Tennessee upset could possibly put Georgia completely out of the playoffs. So how great would that be? So for no other reason, kind of like how you wanted to pick Utah, just because I will pick Tennessee to upset Georgia just because.
Okay. We'll see. Write it down, Dad. We'll keep a record, and then we'll talk about it next week. Okay, so we wanted to do something fun this week. Instead of doing a little personal segment, I've seen this trending all over TikTok. They normally do it with like girlfriends and boyfriends, but like, oh my God, Dad, we can totally do this. I'm going to ask him some girl questions and see if he can get them right. Okay. And Dad, you're going to ask me some sports boy kind of questions, whatever you came up with. I don't know, just to see if I can get them right. Hopefully I get the sports one right, but we'll see. And we'll go back and forth.
Okay. I love it.
Want to start?
Sounds good. Sure. You want me to start?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Football
Question 1.
question.
Okay.
Football question. Question 1. How many players on a football field?
22. I got that one.
Okay. 11 on
Oh,
a side.
I got scared. I'm like, wait, what?
Okay.
11 on offense, 11 on defense.
Yes, 11. Very good. Good job.
I would hope
Easy.
I know that.
I started easy for you. I started easy.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Let me start. What?
You better start easy.
What is a French tip? Oh, also let me preface by my dad has 3 girls, obviously, a wonderful wife, my mom, and a girl dog. So he is surrounded by girls, and I'm guessing he should know these questions. So what is a French tip, Dad?
A French tip is a nail the way you get your nails done with like the white part on the end of a nail.
Yes. Good job. I started with an easy one.
Okay, good. All right. I'm going basketball question for question 2.
Oh no. Here we go.
Okay. How long is an NBA quarter?
Oh shoot. Because college is halves, 20 minutes a half.
Yep. So how long is an NBA
Is it 15?
quarter? No.
Oh shoot. Wait, what? 10? It's 10.
No.
Wait, what? What is it?
NBA quarter is 12 minutes long.
Oh, I wasn't gonna get that.
Got that?
Women's college is 15, 4 quarters. Men's, no, 10. Wait, now I'm getting mixed up.
No, they're 10.
They're 10 minutes a quarter?
Women's college?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and then men's.
NBA's 12. All right. Gotcha. Okay, here we go. Your turn.
Like, I should know that. Come on. Okay, next question, Dad. What is a money piece?
A money piece? And this is a girl question?
It's a girl question. I'll give you a hint. Your younger daughter has one.
I don't know. So I would just throw out
Give me a guess. Give me a guess.
A money piece is something for your hair.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Close. It's like when the front piece of your hair is like blonder. Like when you know how low
I was
tires
thinking
have
it was an
blonder in the
actual
front.
piece of equipment, like an art, like something tangible.
No. It's like a piece of your hair in front is blonde.
Okay. All right.
You got hair.
You got hair part right. Okay. Half credit.
Okay.
I'm up by half. What is my turn? Question 3. Yes. Let's go baseball.
Oh no.
Okay. What 2 baseball team names do not end in the letter S?
Okay, I got to think about this.
Now, I'll give you a couple seconds here.
There 2 baseball teams.
Major League Baseball teams that do not end in the letter S.
Like trying to go through like West Coast to East Coast.
You can say them out. Talk them out loud.
Dodgers, Angels, Mets, Yankees, Cubs, Orioles. I don't know. There's a lot of baseball teams. Diamondbacks.
There are, but there's only 2 that don't end in an S.
Can you give me a state?
How about I'll give you this?
Phillies.
Here's the hint. Well, no, they're obviously different states, but the same letter, the letter that they end in is the same. Okay.
Red Sox. White Sox.
There you go.
Okay. Oh, thank goodness. Right. I got that right. Give me a point. It just took me a while.
Give you a point on that one.
Okay. Next. This is an easy one. Hopefully you get this. You've had 3 blonde girls.
Okay.
Giving you a hint. What is purple shampoo used for?
I've seen this in the house. I was wondered why you had purple colored shampoo in the house.
Yeah.
Is it used for keeping the blonde in your hair? No?
Like, kind of. It like
Moisturizing
tones
the
your
hair?
hair.
Tones the hair?
Did you say it straightens it?
Moisturizes.
Oh no, it like dries out your hair.
Oh, okay.
It keeps it like brassy or not, so it's not brassy. Does that mean
All right.
anything to you?
I don't brassy in hair, no. But okay.
Okay, so you don't get a point for that one
All right.
because I gave you a hint saying we're blonde anyway.
Okay.
Okay, how many more
All right.
questions do you got?
All right. 2 more. Here we go.
Okay.
Golf. Golf
Okay.
question.
Okay.
What are the 4 major golf tournaments?
The Masters,
Okay.
U.S. Not the U.S. Open.
Yep.
Is U.S. Open? U.S. Open?
Yep. US Open.
Oh,
I'll give you a hint. It's the third one is the one that they have in Europe or overseas, not in America.
I don't think I'm gonna get that. Are they all the PGA Tour?
Well, so that they are, but that one's called the Open Championship.
Okay, yeah, I would not have gotten that at all.
And then the last and final tournament's the one they have here in the US with
Where?
everybody in the world. So it would be
The World Championship.
PGA Championship.
Okay.
So,
Okay, give me half points. I got 2 out of the 4.
there you go. That's good. But you got to know that. That's good.
I do need to know that. I'm applying for an internship with PGA right now. I probably should know
There
that.
you go. No, there you go. When they ask you, you now know the 4 major golf tournaments.
I'm going to write it down. All right, I got one more question for you, Dad.
Yes, go for it.
What is a water line?
A water line?
Yes.
Is it on yourself?
Yeah,
Or is it
you have
on
one too,
something?
actually. You have one.
Okay. Is it, I don't know, the wrinkle in the forehead?
No, because I have one too, and I don't
know what a water line is.
Do you have a guess? A better guess than a wrinkle in your forehead?
I will say the water line is it one of the lines on your hand?
No. It's like right here in your eyeball where like people put like mascara or eyeliner and stuff. But you got one too. It's like right here.
Okay.
The more you know.
All right.
Okay, you went.
I'll be putting mascara on anytime soon, but that's okay. All
That's
right.
why I took my question.
Good job.
But that was good. That was fun. We should do that more often.
All right. Good to know.
Broadening my sports knowledge, I think I know more than I do. I should know how long a quarter in the NBA is.
Yes, you should. So you learned something, and I now know what purple shampoo is really used for. So
when you see it around the house, you know what it's for.
Yep.
All right, Dad, that's all we have for today. It was a fun week, fun podcast.
Fun week, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we got another fun week of sports coming up ahead of us, which we'll be tuning in next Monday, and I'm excited.
Sounds good. I'll be ready.
Perfect. Have a great rest of your week, Dad.
Love you. You too.
Love you too. Bye.
Thanks for watching Sports.